1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
Hello, it's Tuesday, the first day of September 2020. Welcome to Joy News at 6 with me, Benis Abubeidu-Lansa. 15 severe cases of COVID-19 in Ghana, 5 in critical condition, 3 being helped to breathe with a ventilator. COVID is real. Coming up this morning, hundreds of passengers expected in the country as Ghana reopens its airport to international traffic today after 5 months of closure.
Here at the airport, we are interested in 2 things. The test must be very specific and sensitive, which means it must tell us that this guy has the virus if he has it. And if the test says it's negative, really, you pose no risk to Ghanaians.
But virologists at Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research is warning measures rolled out to detect possible COVID-19 cases at the airports may not be fully reliable.
Half of the people who will take antigen tests, the results may not be correct. In other words, you cannot tell whether the person is actually positive or not.
Also, labor unrest looms on the medical front as the Ghana Medical Association says there's growing tension among its members, many of whom it says are being denied the 50% salary top-up promised frontline workers. We've got details as the association demands proper definition of who a frontline worker is in business.
The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority to commence emergency meeting with all airline operators to ascertain their preparedness to resume international flights as the Kotoka International Airport reopens today. We have details in 15 minutes.
Also, Ghana and Nigeria to open talks this week following growing diplomatic dispute over enforcement of local trade laws, which Nigeria says amounts to harassment of its citizens.
President Akufo-Addo is already engaging. I do understand that later this week, a very high-ranking official from Nigeria will be in Ghana for other conversations and hopefully also this conversation.
That's coming up later in the bulletin. Thanks for your company. The details now. The Kotoka International Airport is reopening to international traffic this morning after 5 months of closure. Hundreds of passengers kept out of the country due to COVID-19 restrictions are expected through the airport starting today. But under what President Akufo-Addo says are stringent measures to prevent the importation of the virus. But experts are questioning the effectiveness of those measures. We hear shortly from lead virologist at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. First, though, Joy News' PSC and Anaya Safo's report as officials prepared Terminal 3 Monday to receive international passengers.
Behind me, large activity by workers of Zoomlion Ghana disinfecting the terminal, the only one here that is open to international travel.
When we apply, it takes 10 to 30 days for it to stay in here, so that within that period, any virus or any bacteria that get to any of the polished surfaces will be deactivated, and therefore they cannot do any transmission. So it is a different on its own.
Well, Managing Director of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, Yao Kwakwa, announced the arrangements for reopening at a news conference at the airport's Terminal 3 on Monday.
Anyone who comes into our facilities will have to wear a face mask. We will have people there to ensure that if you don't have the face mask, you cannot enter. It's not just going to be a sign. There will be enforcement. Also, Port Health is going to screen you. And in all our facilities, there will be markers on the floor to help users of the airport to social distance.
Deputy Health Minister Dr. Okoboy believes Ghana's measures are robust and will prevent the importation of the virus.
Here at the airport, we are interested in 2 things. The test must be very specific and sensitive, which means it must tell us that this guy has the virus if he has it. And if the test says it's negative, really, you pose no risk to Ghanaians. And we got a solution that was checked at Noguchi, checked with FDA.
But lead virologist at the Noguchi Memorial Institute, Dr. Kofi Boni, has revealed that about half of antigen tests to be conducted at the Kotoka International Airport may not be accurate.
Test within 72 hours is enough. I don't know why we have to do an antigen test which is less sensitive upon arrival. If you look at the tests that have been done over the years, we have a varying sensitivity percentage between 34 to around 80%. So if you are looking at these figures, that means about half of the people who will take antigen tests, the results may not be correct. In other words, you cannot tell whether the person is actually positive or not. Apart from that, we have something we call the false positive result that comes with these antigen tests.
Dr. Boni is also questioning the cost of the test. He was asked on Newsnight how much an antigen kit costs.
I don't know what they are doing, but I know about between $10 to about $20 for one test. Yeah.
But we're told that it's costing about $150. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Well, maybe so many other things come. If you are buying the kit itself, maybe I'm sure they are charging administrative and also maybe the personal protective equipment and all that they are using. They will factor it in.
Lead virologist at the Noguchi Memorial Institute, Dr. Kofi Boni, speaking to MFR Powell on Newsnight. Now, the Ghana Medical Association says there's growing agitation among its members as many of them are denied the 50% salary allowance promised by President Akufo-Addo to frontline workers. The association says lack of clarity in determining who qualifies as a frontline worker is creating confusion. Dr. Titus Bayo is Deputy General Secretary of the association.
And did say at the president's speech at one time, he said that there has been a conclusion or finality brought to the issue of those who benefit the frontline health worker definition. And I did say that we did not think that there was finality. Let me put it that way, as of that time. Because the definition, the working definition that government is using for it's a bit problematic. And it's supposed to be an ongoing compilation. So once it's not finite, it's difficult to even tell who is on the list, who is not. So before someone can complain, the person has to prove that they are on the list and has not been paid. And this is where the challenge is.
Well, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah has this response.
There's a clear definition for who a frontline health worker is. It is not every doctor or nurse in a hospital who is being designated as a frontline health worker. Mm-hmm. The frontline health workers are those who were listed as having taken care of positive cases. What that means is that you can even be a frontline health worker this month and not be a frontline health worker next month. Mm-hmm. Today, there are regions in which there are no active cases. Okay. So the fact that a hospital doctor or nurse working there does not mean that your name will continuously be submitted for you to be getting.
Because you're not dealing.
Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah. Then now Ghana will in 9 months begin the production of spare parts and other machinery as part of the country's industrialization drive. President Akufo-Addo cut short for work to start on the first foundry and machine tooling center on Monday. Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, says the development signals the country's readiness to add value to goods produced locally.
This is the beginning of the journey towards true industrialization of the country. There is no turning back. This is a disruptive undertaking that will change this country forever. This project, Mr. President, has the potential to be amongst your greatest legacies for Ghana.
Professor Frimpong Boateng is Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Now, Ghana and Nigeria are opening talks this week to address rising tension between the two states. Nigeria has accused Ghana of maltreatment and intimidation of its citizens who've been affected by Ghana's enforcement of trade laws. Ghana rejects this and says affected Nigerians were found to have engaged in violation of laws including tax evasion, falsification of documents and immigration offences. Speaking on Joy News' Beyond the Lockdown with MFR Powell, Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah said President Akufo-Addo and his counterpart, President Buhari, are leading the talks to resolve the impasse.
The statement from our colleagues in Nigeria came to us as a surprise because these are matters that are often dealt with on diplomatic platforms or in accordance with diplomatic channels. And it contained a number of things which were very inaccurate. President Akufo-Addo, President Buhari have excellent relations. Ghana, Nigeria have an excellent track record, and it will be important for the two countries to get quickly around the table to resolve whatever perceptions or realities there may be. President Akufo-Addo is already engaging.
Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah, the